didn't it? Wow. Sometimes you really got to clean house. You got to clear away from your space, your vibration, anything that's not good for you. Well, another Sunday. This month, what do you say, Katie? This month is, I guess, it's doing more than moving. This month is boogieing along. I mean, this month is rolling. Today is October 5th, the first Sunday of the 10th month, Teresa. 10 months of God. Marsha, where'd they go? You know, when we think about it, each month brings another elevation in our experience of life. Over this last year, I think so many of us have grown together, have felt good things together. And so in this spirit of oneness, I first want to just welcome our visitors, our guests, our first-time visitors. Just wave your hand. See, I couldn't see you. Just wave your hand. Yes, yes. Let's give them a big hand. Oh, wow. We appreciate you, and we say keep coming. Be sure to get on our list. There's a packet they're going to give you so that we can put you on our email list. We send out all kind of good stuff over the month, and these ideas and these vibrations can help you and keep you plugged into your family here. This day is, when we think about it, I was doing the calendar. Can you imagine 88 days left?
Wow.
Yeah, 88 days. I was calculating it. Cliff is an accountant. He keeps up with numbers. 88 days, that means that 88 more sunrises for us to get up and do, be, and have all the things we desire. To get us ready for our message today, I was asking myself, how do I feel today? And you know what? The word came to me, blessed. We're here, we're healthy, we're whole, blessed. So I'll ask you, how do you feel today?
Blessed.
All right, that's like 75. That's like a little blessing. Let's do a big blessing. I really feel blessed. You know, the fact that we're alive here is a powerful blessing. So how do you feel today? Blessed. Yeah. Yes. And you know why? Because we're grateful. We're grateful for all the good things that have come to us. Whatever you're grateful for, you get more of. And when we look at what we say uncertain times, we need to be grateful for some good stuff that kind of protects us from the bad stuff. So I am grateful. Together. I am grateful. You gotta do a little something here. You gotta get a little motion with that grateful. Let's try it again with some motion. Together. I am grateful. Woo! Yes. Now we're ready. Today, I like to use the Bible as a point of scriptural reference. Every religion has a book that has the ideas and principles on which it is based, and if you put them all side by side, they're very much the same. Everyone, they have a little different twists and whatnot, but everybody knows there's a God and that we are created in this image, and that we in unity say that we are part of God. God and us created the world together. And so some of the scriptures we're going to do today, I'm going to enumerate them up front because these are some basic scriptures that really, when you think about life and putting stuff into practice, Hebrews, the 11th chapter, the first verse, one of the most powerful. And it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And that gives us a path now, an interpretation of how to control our lives, how to deal with uncertain times. Then the next scripture is Proverbs 29:18. And this one is one that I tell you, this will either take us up I'll bring us down. And it says this: where there is no vision, the people perish. Helen Keller said, to be blind is interesting, but to have sight and no vision is tragic. So, where there's no vision, the people perish. Then James, the book of James, 2nd chapter and the 17th verse, and it says something very profound. Faith without works is dead. So this means you always have to do something. And then Joshua, the 24th chapter and the 15th verse. It says, choose this day whom you will serve. And so on those principles, we're going to talk today about this idea of embracing, of finding faith in an uncertain world. We live in a world that's, the only certain thing about the world is that it is uncertain. The one thing that does not change is the fact that the world always changes. We live on the river of time, and it's always moving. You know, if we look at the news, which is problematic, if you look at the news and you see some of the stuff going on in the world, there's political unrest, economic change, it can shake you. It can really, you know, some mornings you wake up and you're like, I don't think I want to come out from under the cover. I just want to stay here in bed. But it's times like this that faith becomes more than a belief. Faith becomes a lifeline. Faith is my lifeline. Let's say that together. Faith is my lifeline. You know, Unity teaches us that we live in a spiritual universe governed by divine law. And that law says faith is the substance of things hoped for. So when we look at our topic today, finding faith in uncertain times, there's an Arabian proverb, and it says this: he who has health has hope. He who has hope has everything. And so the nature of uncertainty is not new. Every generation faces its own crisis. And the only real question is, how will you respond to it? See, everything else is outside, but that idea, choose this day whom you will serve, how you respond to it. People worry about what's going to happen next. Will I be okay? How will I get through it? But the question is, how will I respond to it? What choices will I make to keep me safe, to keep me elevated? But uncertainty also does something else. It offers a powerful call to go back to our source. You know, we often talk about the prodigal son, and, you know, after he lost all his money and he's in the pig pen of life, the one thing he thought about was like, going back to my father's house. And so when we're in trying times, that's often a time to say to us, you need to go back to basics. You need to go back to whose you are. When we do that, we'll find that every uncertain, uncomfortable experience is really a growth opportunity. Sometimes we have to have our attention gotten. Things happen to get our attention. And so when we look at this thought of, if you have hope, you have everything. And we couple that with the nature of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That faith is that ability to see yourself, to see your vision, to see the process by which you operate and know you will be victorious. But faith requires hope. And hope requires a vision. So for those of you in the room and those online, what is your vision for yourself? Because if you don't see your vision for yourself, then all the stuff in the uncertain world can push you astray. If you don't have your values centered on what's important to you, what brings you joy, what makes you feel good inside, then you can listen to stuff on the internet and it'll have you doing crazy stuff. So faith takes us beyond what we can see, and it anchors it in what our heart knows. So faith must be connected to your vision for yourself. You know, we always talk about, when we talk about Moses bringing the children of Israel out of Egypt, it was to get to the promised land. So when we look at our lives right now, if we're not having the life experience that we want, what's the vision that we're trying to accomplish? How do we see that experience for ourselves? If we can't see the life we want to live, we can't be it. You know, the Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. For 5 years, that farmer has to keep watering it and pulling up weeds and nurturing it. So that takes a lot of faith. And one of the things I noticed in today's world is everything is it's like microwave truth. I want to do it right away. Young man said, you know, Dr. Harris, I've been working on the job 3 months and I haven't gotten a raise yet. In my day, Cliff, you didn't even think of a raise for at least 2 years. So what is that doing? That means that so often they can miss their blessings because they have bad expectations. Wow. This thought now of having a vision is critical in uncertain times. You have to know who you are. You have to know your values. You have to be clear about it. So faith is then more than just something passive. Faith is like an active trust. I believe in my ability to get things done. Let's say that together. I believe in my ability to get things done. Nothing is impossible. Together. Nothing is impossible. And so when stuff goes on around you, bring it on. You know, it's interesting. Whenever you take a stand, you notice that things that you thought were big, bad, and terrible back up. You ever know sometimes the power of no? When somebody says, you got to do this, you got to do that. No. Oh. It was just a suggestion. When you take a stand, it makes a difference. So when we think about this idea of faith in uncertain times, faith is the key. One of the key elements about faith is that it's a choice. You choose to be faithful. And faith and fear cannot exist. Faith and fear are like the opposites. Fear is faith in reverse. When you fear, you have faith in what you don't want. In Job, in the book of Job, Job said, the things that I feared have come upon me. And so don't fear things, faith them. The prodigal son in the pig pen, he didn't like, I'm in the pig pen, it's only going to get worse. Brother, if you're in the pig pen, I don't know if it can get much worse. But he faced it. He said, oh, my father's house, everybody's eating and doing good. And then he said something powerful. I will arise. I will change. I choose to do something. So faith is a choice. Through prayer and meditation, we can redirect our fear to faith. Put trust in the power. You know, last week we talked about alignment. And alignment being one with the Spirit of God, the vibration of God. We say there's only one God. There's only one presence, God, the omnipotent. Well, alignment is saying, well, I'm back. I'm back. And so when you're aligned now, then you can say, I put my trust in my source. I'm not looking for anybody. I put my trust in my source. I have the power. So let's look at a phrase that I always love. You know, when you go to New Orleans, what did I say, New Orleans? New Orleans. They have a phrase there that's what you say, Laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. And when we take that attitude in life, let the good times roll. It may be terrible outside, but let the good times roll, because I define my good times. So let's look at how do we make this happen? How do we strengthen our faith so that we can do more and be more? There are 4 keys. Our mindset. Our mindset and our spirit. That's number 1. To change our mindset. And we can do that by daily affirmations. We have the tools in unity. By daily affirmations, we can say, I feel great today. I'm clear today. Everything is beautiful. Today is the day the Lord has sent. By affirmations and gratitude. Whatever you're grateful for, you attract. And by positive expectations. That's a powerful mindset. When you go out expecting to win. Someone once said, my goal used to be to live to be 160. And I'll be 160 in 2104. But something keeps telling me, why not stay around for 200 years? Why should I put a limitation on it? And in any event, if it's not true, I'll be the first to know. That spirit set, to create yourself in spirit, to really begin each day with prayer. You notice every religion starts with prayer. When we were up in the mountains at the lake at the retreat, they had Vespers in the morning. And so start your days now with prayer, with meditation, with quiet reflection, in which you start to pray, give thanks for what you want to experience. So that's key, number 1. Number 2, to help strengthen your faith, speak words of faith. Our words shape our reality, so when we speak faith, words of help, hope, words of healing, inspiring words, you can do it. When we do that, doors begin to open. I stopped going to class reunions. And the reason is, like I said, I was born in 1944, so chances are a lot of my classmates have been around a while. And so when you go to a class reunion, it's like a medical experience. How you doing, man? Oh, God, I just had a new pacemaker put in. Well, I got a defibrillator too, I got a pacemaker and a defibrillator. I got arthritis, man. And I'm listening and I'm thinking, I know what I got. I got to get out of here. So words of faith, speak words of faith, good words, uplifting words. 3rd key is to act. You see, faith without works is dead. That's that scripture, James. Faith without works is dead. If you don't take action on what you believe and what's holy and what's true and what's important to you, nobody else will. And that's that 5th principle of unity, that not only must we believe, we must act on our beliefs. And then that 4th key, strengthening our faith. And we're living it right now. Surround yourself with faith-filled people. Who you surround yourself with creates the vibration of your life. If you surround yourself with people who are negative, even though you put up your shields. In Star Wars, whenever there was an attack, Scotty, put up your shields. Even when you put up your shields, to put up your shields takes energy from you. You hang around negative people too long, they'll have your faith getting lower and lower and lower. And pretty soon, you start agreeing with them. How bad it is. And then finally, so those are the 4 keys to building our faith. And the final point I want to make about faith is that faith can transform uncertainty into opportunity. Even in the business arena, remember 2008 when the real estate boom. A lot of people lost money. But out of 2008 came a new idea, Uber. Came these other new ways to get around, live. And so many times whenever you have uncertainty, if you have clarity and you have a vision, that puts you ahead of the crowd. Because in a period of uncertainty, most people are wandering around like, what's going on? Is anything going on? You come through, this is what's going on, I'm in charge. You like that? Yeah. This is what's going on and I'm in charge. Let's say that together. This is what's going on and I'm in charge. The moment you take charge of your life, you know, everything else changes. So faith can really transform uncertainty into opportunity. Many times when you look at uncertainty, everything that we experience, we had a part in its creation. And so when we are in situations that are not pleasant, the prodigal son spent his way to the pig pen. And so when we find ourselves in challenging situations, we have to take a little ownership now. See, if I'm here, there's something I did to help bring me here. And the fact that I'm in this challenging situation says now I got a chance to change. All of this calamity is just a notice to me that I need to change. I need to think new thoughts. I need to stop being fearful and have more courage. I need to stop doing those things, stop smoking, stop laying in the bed too long. I need to clean house, get rid of some people who just undermine my efforts. Once you do that, it's done. You say, thank God for the challenge because it brought me clarity. When David was facing Goliath, now that's a challenge, but David had a vision. You remember the king said, if you can beat Goliath, I'll give you my daughter, I'll give you riches, I'll give you everything. So that was David's vision. So what is your vision? What are the riches? What are the things that you want to do? And then when David went to attack Goliath, he didn't go to take a quick course in giant killing. he said he picked up the 5 stones, the things that he knew, his values, what he believed in. And so this day, uncertainty is constant. It's always going to be there. In uncertain times, let us remember that faith is our spiritual compass. Our faith, based on our hopes and our dreams, will keep us whole. Faith is a choice. We can choose faith or fear, and then we can practice faith with these 4 keys to have a positive mindset, telling yourself good stuff, center yourself in spirit through meditation and prayers, to speak words of faith. Always put a watch on your mouth. So if you say something that's not positive, stop saying it. If you can't say something good, then shut up. Some people, the only good thing you can say to them is goodbye. Anybody got anybody in your life like that? I got a couple of people, I'm like, goodbye. Act of courage. Faith, action confirms faith. And then surround yourself with faith-filled people. Always knowing that faith gives you an opportunity to grow. That every challenge is an opportunity to rise above. You know, when you're in the airplane, and you ever get in turbulence, how many of you have been in an airplane where the turbulence gets crazy? And you know what the pilot does? He goes up. He rises up above the turbulence. And it's funny how when you get up there and you look down out the window, everything looks different. You're flying along smooth, all the turbulence is beneath you. So this day, make this commitment that whatever is uncertain in your life, whatever's going on in your life, rise up. Let's say that together. Rise up. One more time. Rise up above it. And you'll be able to see and be and do and have anything you desire. Wow. Let us stand up and close out together. Woo! I feel good today. Yes. I'm going to take a tap dancing class. Y'all going to see me out here. I mean, this is going to be on. I'll repeat and you say after me. You repeat after me. Uncertainty brings me back to my